Oh my God. And he shops at the little boy section in Sears. The little tyke section. That's where he shops. He shops in the little tyke section. All Obsidian need is one of those little hats. You know the little hats that got the little propeller on the top of that motherfucker? That's all he need. Oh my God. Oh yeah, shout out to Soul Alchemy. I saw that video you did about Taz over there crying about bastard children. Like he don't even know the definition of what a bastard is. That nigga's goofy as fuck, man. So about some, if you're waiting for white people to solidify your children, that's not what that is, goof nut. That's not what that is. I mean, the definition is the definition, dude. You can't get around that shit. You making your own definition is some fucking goofy shit. That's what ratchet black women do. Make their own definitions to shit. The definition predates you, fam. The definition predates you. It existed before you. So you can't change the definition. A bastard is a child that is born out of wedlock. There's no way around that shit. There's no way around that shit. There's no way around that shit. It's a reality. Face it. Now see, you running around here saying, well, I solidified my children because if I say they're not, then I solidified it. You don't have the power to do that. Because you don't have the power to change that definition. And see, this is why I have a problem with pseudo pro-black individuals, because they come at shit from the wrong angle. Because guess what? If you're sitting here saying, if your children were born out of wedlock and you're saying that, well, it doesn't matter that my children were born out of wedlock, I'm solidifying them so that makes them not bastards, then that means you are still looking to be solidified. It means you're still looking for validation from someone. Like, I want y'all to really think about that. I want y'all to really think about that. See, a lot of these pseudo pro-blacks, they don't want to be out from under white supremacy. They want to be in white supremacy, but they want to be able to control the narrative while they're in white supremacy. You see? Because if you truly was free, Taz, and you truly didn't give a fuck about the definition, you wouldn't be on your fucking channel arguing about the definition. You wouldn't be on, because it wouldn't matter to you. You would say shit like, based on the law that white people wrote, or based on the definition that white people wrote, an out of wedlock, a non-state sanctioned marriage producing children, those are bastards. But I don't give a fuck about that. That's what a real pro-black motherfucker would say. I don't give a fuck about that. But you're not saying you don't give a fuck about it. What you're saying is, yeah, that's the definition, but I'm solidifying my children so they're not bastards. So not only are you trying to change a rule that was there before you, but you're being delusional about it. Now, there's a very subtle nuance there, but I can see it. See, being pro-black and considering yourself a free black man, that means that you don't give a fuck about those rules and laws and all of that shit. They still exist. You acknowledge that they exist, but you don't care about it. It's kind of like this. It's kind of like you having a Chrysler 300 and saying, well, I don't care if everybody thinks it's a Chrysler 300. It's a Phantom to me. It's a phantom to me. I don't care. It's a phantom. That's what you're doing. Instead of you saying, yeah, this is a Chrysler 300, but so what? The Chrysler 300 is just as good as the Phantom. So why would I need a Phantom? It's a different state of mind. It's a different state of mind. So you want everybody to view your Chrysler 300 as a Phantom because in your mind, the Phantom is where it's at. See, the thing about it is you don't want people to view your children as bastards because in the eyes of the greater society, which is white people, having a bastard is a bad thing. So you have to make some sort of explanation for it or some sort of excuse for it because at the end of the day, you do want their validation. You don't want them to refer to your children as bastards. When really, if you were a free black man and you were pro-black, you wouldn't give a fuck what they think about your children. You wouldn't give a fuck what definitions they put on your children. Hillary Clinton referred to black youth as super predators. I don't give a fuck that she said that shit. That doesn't make me, that doesn't define my children. It doesn't define me. But see, the reason why you are running around here trying to explain to everybody that, well, that's not what what bastard means, and this, that, and third, man, shut your goofy ass up, man. You are not an intellectual. You are not an intellectual. You're not. You're not. Because what you're doing is you're trying to paint the world in the way that you think it should be based on your feelings. And it doesn't work that way. You have to recognize shit for what it is. In the current society that we live in, we have a set of rules. Yes, a lot of those rules were made by white people. Currently, the majority of the world views those rules. And the definition of a bastard is known by the majority of the world. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But see, the only way that works is if you give a fuck about that validation. That's the only way that works. Because here's the thing. This is what you gotta realize. If you don't give a fuck about the validation, why the fuck do you give a fuck about the word? Why not just toss the whole thing out? Why would you even come on? If somebody said, yo, yeah, he got bastard children. Why not just say, well, my children ain't bastards? And then keep it moving. And then if somebody says, well, the definition of a bastard is this, that, and third, whatever. What's your point? Is there something else that we need to be discussing? Is there something else that we need to talk about? What's your fucking point? What's the point? Why are you even... There's an old saying and it goes like this. It goes like this. I will not dignify that with a response. Why do people say that? People say that because when you respond to certain things, it gives it validity. So if you feel like what they're saying isn't valid or what they're saying is a waste of fucking time, why argue the definition of the word? Why? What? Because you can't change the definition of the word. You can't change it. If anybody pulls up the definition bastard in the Oxford Dictionary and Webster Dictionary, all of the definitions is going to say the same shit. All of the definitions are going to say the same shit. You can't change that. That's the reality. Now, let's say moving forward, let's say you had the power to change the definition, right? If you had the power to change the definition, then moving forward, every dictionary changed the definition. Well, it would take a couple of generations before people would start acknowledging the new definition of it. But you sitting on YouTube telling everybody that, oh, I solidified my children or whatever. So you got married. This is why back in the day, people, if they had children out of wedlock, they didn't tell anybody. That's the reason why they didn't do that shit. That's the reason why they didn't do that shit. They didn't tell anybody. This is why people didn't talk about that shit. But see, in this day and age, this is what black people like to do. Black people in this day and age love to talk at length about their dysfunction and the dysfunctional things they do. And then they try to justify the dysfunction. No. If I've ever done something in my life that was dysfunctional, I'll tell you flat out it was dysfunctional. And then I'll tell you why I did it. But why I did it is not the excuse to make it not dysfunctional. It's still dysfunction. I've done things that I wasn't supposed to do when I was younger. That was dysfunctional. You know how I know it's dysfunctional? Because I don't want my children doing it. That's how I know it's dysfunctional. But see, most of you Negroes, especially you pseudo pro-black Negroes, you cannot be honest with yourself. You can't be honest with yourself. You've chosen to deceive yourself. You've chosen to deceive yourself. Over and over and over again. Like, for instance, everybody's talking about BGS's hangout, where all of us was going back and forth. I asked Cerulean a very simple question. Very simple question. The simple question is, yo, you keep giving Taz the benefit of the doubt. You even let Kenneth Thomas sit up in your chat room. I said, did either one of those Negroes help you make a name for yourself on YouTube? No, I did. Did either one of those individuals promote the shit out of you? No, I did. Did either one of those individuals have your back whenever you would go on panels and people would start coming at you sideways? No, I did. I did. I did. I was your homeboy. I promoted you. I promoted your channel. I gave you props. I bigged you up. I helped you get a name here on YouTube. And while I don't really go into that a lot, and I don't really, because people are their own people, I try not to go into shit like that because I don't want no praise for the shit. But the thing about it is this. At the very least, all of that should give me priority over niggas who ain't did shit for you. I'm going to say that again. All of that I did should give me priority over niggas that ain't did shit for you. And he never answered that question. I don't know if y'all noticed that. He never responded to that. He never answered that question. And that shit right there is some black dysfunctional shit. Black people, we quicker than anybody will shit on people that have done the most for us or been there for us the most, and then give props to niggas that ain't did shit for us. Give props to niggas that didn't have our back. Give props to niggas that fucking clowned us. Like, I can't name how many times Taz has clowned not Obsidian. I can't name how many times Taz has clowned Cerulean's military record. or the fact that he served in the first place. And I can't name how many times I've gotten in Taz's ass about that shit. But this is what niggas do. And see, at the end of the day, like, when it comes to being quote unquote pro-black, that shit puts blinders on you. Because what Grinch said was 100% true. Grinch said, I judge people on the merit of what they do. I judge people on their character. And that's the main reason why Grinch will rock with me before he rocks with Taz. Because if he's basing it on our character, then I'm a friend to Grinch and Taz isn't. But see, if you're basing it on blackness and not character, you can defend Taz. You can defend Kenneth Thomas over me, who is a Negro who has helped promote you. Because we all black. Hell, if anything, to be truthfully honest, part of the reason, and I hate to say this shit, but I'm going to just keep it real, Taz is darker than me. So is Kenneth Thomas. If you think for 1 second that that hasn't crossed my mind, you've lost your mind. I've thought about that too. I've thought about that too. Like, you giving all these niggas the benefit of the doubt, but you got a problem with Suge, he a yellow nigga. You got a problem with Grinch, he a yellow nigga. You don't want to defend me, I'm a yellow nigga. Don't think that that hadn't crossed my mind either. And by the way, everybody else running around here, stop running around here talking about the fall of the Black Order because somebody got exiled from the Black Order. You niggas is goofy. You niggas is goofy as fuck. You niggas is goofy as fuck. Straight up. The Black Order consists of active members. The Black Order is an organization, a group. Motherfuckers go in the army. Motherfuckers, look, let me ask y'all this question. If a person gets court-martialed, let's say the army court-martials 100 people and kicks them out of the army. People get dishonorably discharged all the time. Does that mean